Hello everybody, Aaron the Nintintrovert here, and welcome back to part 5. Yes, that's right, part 5. Can you believe it? Of our Spyro the Dragon playthrough. He just licked himself there like a cat. It was awesome. Anyway, yeah. So we're back at it here on this episode. We're in the swamp. Don't get out of my swamp, and we're gonna be getting we're gonna be getting into all kinds of stuff on this episode. I'm talking shenanigans, tomfoolery, lollygagging. And maybe, I don't know, tiddlywinks. It's not really a verb related to getting into trouble so much as it's some kind of, I don't know, it's like a British game where you flick some little poker chip looking thing. I don't know. Anyway, we're back at it, so let's just get right into it. I love the aesthetics of this world. This is probably my favorite world in the game aesthetically. Been really looking forward to us getting here. All the other worlds are so bright and colorful, and a lot of rainbow colors and stuff. But here it's a lot more like, I don't want to say muted because it's still very vibrant in its own way, but just a lot more kind of grim and I don't know, just a lot of prominent greens. Blue's my favorite color, but green is definitely my second, which has blue in there. But all the varying shades of green I just think are really nice. I like the reflective water effect, although it's kind of weird when you move the camera, and it kind of, if you look at the outer edges there, how it kind of, I don't know, I don't fully understand why the water effects look the way that they do. Like, imagine like in real life, you just, because I feel like when you look, like, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like when you look at like a body of water and it's reflecting, it's pretty stationary, regardless, like if you move your head to look around it. But like if you just move it all, and then it's like, okay, every time you like move, like I feel like that in real life, that would just give everybody a like seizure or something, if like you had this much movement in the reflection every time you looked at the water from a different angle. Anyway, minor nitpick aside, it's still a really cool looking area aesthetic. We got these lily pads. I don't know what those plants are called, the little whatever those things are. We got these enemies here that electrocute the platform. They're a little bit annoying. I don't much care for these guys. Let's get rid of them. Yeah, let's get all the gems here out of this hub area, rescue the dragons, and then hop into one of the levels within the hub area. Terrace Village. I'm trying to remember which one that one is. I can't. Yeah, it seems like that one's decent. Oh, we got Bruno. Silencio, Bruno.
Nasty Nork is turning our swamp into an electrified junk heap.
Got a little. He's supposed to be like a voodoo witch doctor guy.
Sure it was.
Living in the bayou. He's got one of those. Got an eyeball on his around his chest there, which is kind of interesting. Very almost Princess and the Frog kind of vibe. Is like what was that villain's name? I forget. I've seen Princess and the Frog a handful of times, not a ton. I think that movie gets a lot of undeserved criticism. I think it's definitely a little bit underrated. I think it's a pretty good movie. Maybe not the best Disney movie ever, but I think it's pretty solid. And it was basically the last like 2D animated Disney movie before everything had to become all CG, which I ranted about that during my Crash playthrough. I'm going to try not to go into a whole nother tangent about that, but hand-drawn 2D art, even if it's digital, even if it's like an Adobe or something, to me I still kind of consider that hand-drawn, because you do still have to draw it out, even if it's with a stylus on a screen, But I don't know, just 3D, like I feel like it takes away so much from the artistic, like to a point. CG has gotten so realistic that it's almost like, what's the point? Like I watched Toy Story 4, and those backdrops, it's like those might as well just be like CG characters like superimposed into a live action environment, because like the grass and everything around them is so detailed, it's so real. It's like, why is this even an animated movie? Why isn't it just live action at that point? It just seems like you're wasting your time, And then yeah, like I remember with Toy Story 4, I think like I remember the animators, they were like really proud talking about like the technology advancements and how they had this what's essentially AI, I guess, but they like coded, like they programmed this like spider web AI technology, like these AI spiders that would like all the spider webs you see like when they go into the pawn shop like in the movie, like those weren't placed there by an animator by hand with an artistic vision. They programmed it to where it would automatically generate that to replicate like where spiders would like place all these cobwebs and stuff. And to me, that, like, you know, that's kind of neat, I guess, from a, you know, technological standpoint or whatever. But like, I feel like it's not really art at that point. It's just math, you know. Like you typed in an equation and then it did the thing for you, and it's like that's not what art is. So I don't know. I don't even know how I got on this tangent. That's right. We were talking about. I was talking about whatchamacallit, Princess and the Frog being one of Disney's last 2D animated movies, and I think it was. I don't know if it completely flopped commercially or it didn't do like, you know, super great or whatever, but. And then they were just like, all right, that's it. It's not worth the time and the resources because I guess it's more expensive to do 2D animation. But man, 2D animation is where it's at. I think there is supposed to be a new one coming out, some kind of new like Looney Tunes movie. It's called like I think the name of it's like a play on like the day the Earth stood still, but it's something if it's like the day the Earth blew up, maybe something like that. It's like about Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, and it's made to be kind of like an old one of the cartoons from like the 40s or something. And it's going to be like, I'm pretty sure maybe it's already out. I don't know. If it is, they've not been marketing that movie very well, so it's probably going to fail. It's going to flop, and they're going to be like, "Oh, why didn't this succeed at the box office?" Obviously, people don't press the glide button. But you didn't glide. Obviously, people don't want to see 2D animated movies. But it's like if you don't market it, and people don't know. Yeah, I need to get off this this tangent here, but yeah, it's a shame. I want to see that make a big comeback. Just the hand drawn animation, because it makes me happy, and it just looks so much better in most cases to me than CG. You know, like television shows, they're still animated, a lot of them by hand, and they're gorgeous. Like Gravity Falls. Star vs. the Forces of Evil. You got stuff like Netflix has a couple really just fantastic original animated series on there. There's one called Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast, which is animated by the same animators who did Avatar The Legend of Korra, which was the follow-up to Avatar The Last Airbender. Spectacular. The colors in that are so vibrant, and just the fluidity of the animation and the way they choreographed the fight sequences, and it's just like, man, it's stuff that in recent years, I will concede that since like Into the Spider-Verse, after that, Cletus. Hey, Cletus.
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I gotta go.
He's got a leaf beard. That was helpful.
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I gotta go. I've been trapped in that crystal for so long, I've been holding in this diarrhea for the past 2 weeks, Spyro. I gotta poop like you wouldn't believe. I can use the leaves on my beard as toilet paper, Spyro. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, I don't know. That's enough ranting about CG and 2D animated. But I will say though, and I talked about this once before, but it's stepping up its game. CG is starting to replicate a lot of the same squash and stretch techniques and stuff, where it's starting to look less like claymation and more like 2D animation, if that makes sense. So I've never been a big claymated guy either, but that's just a matter of personal taste. It's not that I necessarily think that it's obviously a lot of work goes into it. Misty Bog, this is a good one to start with. Let's go into Misty Bog, Spyro. I say, boy. Everyone here talks like Foghorn Leghorn because we're in the boondocks now, son. Yeah, this is a good look. I wonder, there's got to be someone out there named Misty Boggs. That'd be pretty good. We're going into Misty Bog. I just want to like get out the yellow pages. If they still even make those, just go to Facebook and just type in and see if we can find anyone named Misty Bog. I would do that right now here as I'm recording the video. Just like hold up my phone and be like, look at. But I don't know. That might be a breach of people's confidentiality. I guess that's not illegal because I've seen other people do stuff like that, but it raises some ethical questions, so we won't go onto Facebook and look at the profile pictures of people named Misty Bog, although it will be funny. Now, these guys used to terrify me as a kid. They're not as scary in this game, but they just come at you when you get close. It's just these weird plants with like bunny rabbit buck teeth, and in the original game they were just so creepy looking, just those big teeth. In this one they're kind of whatever, but from what I remember in the original game they were
Ricky! Ricky! My voice cracked when I tried to do that. If anybody remembers that commercial, I don't remember if it was some kind of, I think maybe insurance commercial. I like the way the water looks here. It's still again like varying shades of green, but it's a lot more kind of subdued on this one, and other ones we get into that'll be more vivid and where the sky's like super green. But yeah, I just love the aesthetics of this world. And I'm getting another pop-up about my battery being low. Give me just 1 second. Hang on. Hold on. You still holding on? That's good. I'll be right back. I promise. I love you. Was that too much? I should have got consent first before I just violated you like that. I'm so sorry. Okay. We're back now. We're good. We're good. Let's reposition the camera. It's charged up now. I thought I had it plugged in, but evidently not very well. It must have. I forgot I didn't have my headset on, so hopefully you could hear what I was saying just then. But if not, I was saying I thought I had it plugged up, but evidently not. But we're back now. We got these weird-looking toads or frogs. I don't fully know what the difference is between the two, if I'm being honest. I'm not a biologist. They lunge at you with these rainbow-colored tongues, which is interesting. I imagine that rainbow color is probably full of all kinds of poisonous toxins that would infect Spyro's bloodstream and slowly kill him, make his blood congeal into a gelatin-like substance to where his heart is no longer able to carry it all throughout his body, and then all of his organs slowly shut down. I made that really morbid just because these guys had rainbow-colored tongues. It's like, oh, that's cute. That's a neat little thing. Let's try to make that into something extremely morbid. But anyway, here this level's relatively short. I don't think we'll be too long on this one. Let's rescue this guy. Who we've got here? Roscoe. I don't know if anybody else watched it. It's like very vague. What's with all the eyeballs these guys have?
They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
Saying something about attack frogs. I can hardly hear what that guy's saying. I smell popcorn. I think someone's popping popcorn. Okay, that ain't popcorn. That was thunder. Anyway. But yeah, what was I talking about before I got mesmerized by that guy? Did those guys just pop in? Was that pop in? Pretty sure it was. I'm kind of surprised by that on PS4. It's not a PS5 game, but still, I wouldn't have expected there to be pop in like that. But maybe not. Maybe they were there the whole time and I just didn't see them. They were off camera and just slid into frame like I slide into her DMs. Not really. I'm not confident enough to do that. Which way do we need to go? Let's go this way. What was I saying? I was talking about those morbid frogs. I got distracted. There was thunder and there was popcorn, but I was saying something and I didn't get to finish whatever point I was making. I think I was off the subject of the poison frogs. It's where they got this fairy here with like the arrow telling you where to go. Like, of all the obscure things that's hard to find in this game, I don't know that that's necessarily one of them. I feel like players would see that and be like, oh yeah, I need to jump down into there. It's kind of a neat little hidden secret thing. I don't know if you have to spell it out quite that point blank, but what do I know? I like this guy here. He's like waiting with his little trap to catch the chicken. He's got his knife that he's ready to stab the chicken with once he catches it, but he doesn't know that he has the chicken right there and he's not stabbing it. Oh, well, if I kind of go over in here, he starts stabbing the chicken. That's what all these young kids are doing these days, just spending all their time up in their room just stabbing the chicken. It's a shame they don't ever go outside. They just okay, that's enough. Let's reel it back in. Reel it back in. Family broadcasting. Yeah, we'll get all this over here first. We'll save that for last. The going down into that stump where the fairy was pointing. Yeah, you only really see that in the like the flying levels. It's very unusual that you have like a fairy like that with an arrow pointing you where to go, except for like in the flying levels. where it is definitely really needed. We're almost dead here. Hopefully these frogs won't get us. This is kind of a tricky little little spot here because you got these guys you can only kill by ramming. Those other guys that you can only really kill by flaming, because if you get too close, they're gonna lunge their tongues at you. Yeah, we're dead. I had a feeling there. That's kind of a... I don't know how to get through that without taking a good good couple of hits. At least one anyway. But it's no biggie. We still got 14 lives. We're still pretty good on the live-o-meter or the live-ometer, whichever way you prefer. But anyway, let's take another crack at this. And I don't think there's too much left over here. And then we'll go down into that hole and see what's down there. Die, 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 die. I think that's all the ones that had gems that I didn't already get. No? Okay. Yeah, I was going to kill them all just to be safe. And it's a good thing I did, because I missed that other guy. Alright, we got 254. Let's rescue Damon. Hello, everyone. My name's Damon. I have the most normal name of anyone in this game.
It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age.
Oh, no.
Why, I remember... gotta go.
Spyro did not want to hear that old guy ramble. I feel like they could have delivered that joke a little bit better. I don't know. Could have dragged it out a little longer. Maybe the guy falls asleep halfway through his story. I feel like if I glide over here, I want to say there's like an invisible wall that I'm going to hit. It's going to cause me to fall. I feel like I remember that. Oh well, maybe not. I think there is one there somewhere though, but I guess we got lucky and didn't hit it. But Spyro seemed very unconcerned about that guy. He's like, I've been trapped in here since I was your age. Spyro's just like, oh no, like that was such an insincere, oh no, like Spyro, like, I don't know, that's kind of, it's like the way I would expect a villain to respond to something like that, like just kind of faking sincerity. Just, oh no, you know what? I don't want to go all the way around. Let's just take a little bit of damage here. Ow! I didn't know there'd be collision on that leaf. What do you call those giant leaves that store water in the middle of them? Is that a lily pad? Like, does that break off and then they float on the water, and that's where lily pads come from? I don't know how lily pads grow or where they come from. Maybe that's like the origin of the lily pad. I don't know. Not to be confused with the origin of the iPad, which, you know, that was Steve Jobs, and I don't think Steve Jobs had anything to do with the invention of the lily pad. But, you know, maybe he did. I don't know. I've not seen his whole portfolio. Alright, we are just about done with this level, I am pretty sure. Well, these ones even have water stored inside of them. I guess maybe it's designed that way, some way to, I don't know, keep... to stay hydrated. It can absorb all that from the leaf. I don't know. Zeke, another very regular name. This dude's got like a aardvark nose, like an anteater or something. What's the deal with that guy? He did not have much to say apparently. I'm assuming he just said thank you for releasing me, because that's what a lot of people say. I love this waterfall you got down here. Like, I don't know. I love this world, man. I think the swamp world might actually be my favorite world in the game. What's the name of the swamp world? Beast Makers. Okay. So I guess this is where all the beasts are made? Like, is that a good thing? Ow. Some of the other ones, it's like, oh, this is the artisans realm. This is the peacekeepers. It's all these good things. And then it's like, this is the beast makers. It's like, well, that doesn't sound... It sounds a little bit less good compared to all the rest of them. But, you know, whatever, I guess. Maybe I'm judging them too harshly. Maybe it's just like these warthogs are just here to live in peace, and I'm just coming into their ecosystem and just killing all of them, making some ham and pork chops later. Oh, where did that boy come from? Comment down below and tell me, what's the most delicious part of the pig? Is it ham? My vote would go to ham, I think. But you got pork chops, you got bacon. Bacon's good. I like bacon. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's a little overrated compared to like ham, pork chops. You got you know. Got sausage, which is okay. I'm not the biggest sausage guy. Bologna, I'm pretty sure bologna's pork, right? I don't eat bologna because bologna I think is kind of nasty. In my opinion, IMO, Bubba. Oh,
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures.
Bubba's he's in a lot better shape than I thought. With a name like Bubba, I was expecting a big fat guy with a beer belly, just a big gut.
How about
I'm Bubba.
We are dragons.
But no, this is a ripped dragon. Alright, let's go over here and get these these gems right quick. We'll look around, survey our surroundings, make sure we're not missing anything. Is there anything on the edge of the... Look at that! I love the aesthetics. It's so good, man. It's almost like one of those like Japanese like scrolls or something. How they're like ancient like artistry looks. If this was more like black and white instead of like green. You know what I'm talking about? Like the I'm trying to think. I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of what you call that, but just like their traditional art on, like, you know, ink and whatever kind of paper that they use. I don't know. It looks really neat. But anyway, that's enough admiring the scenery. Let's climb up here. And I think this is where we should get our last handful of gems. There's like a billion guys we gotta kill. We gotta charge through them all, which can be very satisfying if I don't mess up the combo, if you will. Yeah, here we go. Let's murder every last one of these fellas. What was our body count there? Like six people we just killed. It's pretty good. On a day's work for Spyro, the homicidal dragon. Alright, now what are we missing? We're a few short. Oh, and I don't have sparks to point me. Man, is there a chicken I can kill around here somewhere? Is there one of those bayou chickens around here? Love that chicken from Popeyes. I'd kind of like to go to so I've never been to like a bayou. Probably wouldn't be all that exciting. It'd probably be kind of annoying. A lot of like mosquitoes biting in, whatever else. Catch some malaria. That would be real fun. But I don't know. I think the aesthetic of like swamps is kind of neat, but probably not the greatest place to live, if we're being honest. Though, like, how do you grow crops when you got all this just water everywhere? Like, they'd all just drown. I feel like, I don't know. And so far, I'm not finding a chicken. I feel like these last gems are not going to be that hard to find, but sparks would really help a lot, and I'm probably going to waste the most of my time here. The majority of my time is going to be spent just looking for a chicken or something that I can kill. Let's make sure we didn't miss anything back in here. I could just... Okay, I have a strategy. I have a foolproof plan that I am confident is going to work. Hear me out. I am going to kill myself. That's a pretty good idea, huh? See, I bet you never thought of that. If you have to get help, call the crisis hotline. We want you to be here. Anyway, your life matters. Okay, so Sparks is pointing back over this way. So let's climb up here one more time. And clearly, we need to head back in the backwards direction. Because where else would back be but the backwards direction? That was kind of redundant, wasn't it? Let's head back in the backwards direction.
Rook's protection is now ready to roll.
I don't know why I thought of that. Direction, protection, direction. I don't know. When I can't find these last gems, I just start rambling. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just ready to be done with this level. Okay, it's over that way somewhere. That-a-way. That way there. You think we should go that way? Okay, that's enough of the same SpongeBob reference. I already referenced that one. Okay, here we go. It's either this episode or the last episode I made that exact reference, and I feel like I might have referenced that another time on this channel, but it's just gonna be a running gag of just making the exact same reference over and over again. But all right, we've gotten everything I do believe out of this one, so let's back out of the level here and do at least one more. The adventure continues on Dragon Ball Z. Will Goku be able to defeat Frieza and save Planet Namek? Find out on the next episode. Krillin has all the Dragon Balls. Will he be able to wish for a full head of hair? Or is Kakarot going to selfishly wish to bring his son Gohan back to life? Find out on the next episode. Okay, that's enough of that. Which one are we going to do next? Not the Treetops one, which I think is like right over here. That one we'll probably save for the next episode because it will take us an eternity probably, because it's probably the most frustrating level. I love the aesthetics though. It's a neat looking level, but man, you know, like it's cool being up in the treetops, but some of the stuff they ask of you in that level just it's rough. it ain't pleasant. We got Metalhead. We could do that one. Or we could do Terrace Village. Let's do Terrace Village, not to be confused with Terrorist Village. You don't want to go there. That's not a good place to end up. But now Terrace Village, that's a little bit better. Still got the mosquito problem we talked about earlier, but other than that, other than slowly getting all your blood sucked by those disease-ridden creatures, it's great. Well, and the alligators that, you know, eat your limbs off if you're lucky. I feel like maybe I should turn my TV down just a tad. I feel like audio might get picked up on the recording stuff here, and we really don't want that. Hopefully, it's not been too big of an issue. See, again, these skyboxes. Look at it. It's like we're in the swamp. Why is there Aurora Borealis? I don't know. Why are the Northern Lights here? Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it looks so good. Look at that. Look, you got the crescent moon that's waning, and now it's gone. I guess it's waning. I don't know, waning, waxing. I don't know the difference. Like wax on, wax off. Is it like a Master Miyagi thing? I'm not sure. Okay, little rant here. So you know how they rebooted Karate Kid with was it Jackie Chan and then what's his name? Will Smith's kid. Sorry, I freaked out for a second and lost my focus because I thought my headset came unplugged, but I think we're good. I don't know why. I just had a panicked feeling that my headset wasn't working. Yeah, so that movie's called The Karate Kid, right? Like the reboot with Jaden Smith. Is that his name? That's not the daughter, right? She's Willow Smith, pretty sure. Keep my wife's name. Okay, we're not gonna go into all that. Yeah, so it's called Karate Kid. They don't teach karate, they teach Kung Fu. It should be Kung Fu Kid. That's not, how can you call it Karate Kid? And then it's like, I feel like Will Smith was like, oh, his son, because, you know, Will Smith, especially at that time, maybe not so much now since things happened. You know, I had a lot, look at these freaky looking things. That's a little unsettling. It's like, I feel like you like walk into like a cult where they're like sacrificing people, and this is like the deity that they worship that's just like hanging above the altar. This whatever this freak is supposed to be. But anyway, yeah, I feel like Will Smith at the time, he probably had a lot of power and influence in Hollywood. And it was like, you know, his son Jaden was like learning some Kung Fu, and it was like, hey, I grew up watching Karate Kid. That was a really good movie. My son, he's learning Kung Fu. Since he's already learning that anyway, it's like, why don't we cast him and he can be in it? Like, Will, you know that those are two different martial arts, right? And he's just like, you know, I'm Will Smith, right? So he got the green light, even though it didn't make any sense to call it that. From what I remember, though, it was still a pretty decent movie, but it didn't really, I don't know. Some elements didn't maybe make the most sense, which I'm not like the hardest core Karate Kid person. I watched the original trilogy a long time ago with my brother. I don't remember a ton about it. So, I don't know, I'm not the best for like a direct comparison of like, oh, well, did it kind of live up to the original? I remember it had a lot of the same plot points in some ways, but also very different because it actually like goes to China and stuff. I think maybe the kid in the original Karate Kid goes to China in one of the later movies, but not the first one anyway. They definitely didn't get a whole trilogy out of them, but yeah, I don't know. Speaking of that Oscar slap, though, that I was jokingly referencing earlier, let's do a little roll here. Don't forget to stop, drop, and roll if you ever catch on fire. Do a barrel roll. But anyway, let's just roll our way. This is a secret speedrunning strat I've just discovered. It's called the any percent roll challenge. No, but anyway, I feel like Will Smith kind of got a wrong deal. Now, I'm not condoning. See, I'm saying all these hot takes that's gonna like just get me canceled here. Like, Will
Watch out, Spyro.
should not have done what he did. Okay, real quick. That heavy set guy there with the big neck, that's who Bubba should have been. That character that was named Bubba earlier, that's what I expected Bubba to look and sound like. Not that very toned gentleman that we saw in the last one. Gentle Dragon, I guess. I don't know what the correct phrasing would be. Yeah, I don't know. Will, he shouldn't have done what he did. He shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock. I can understand where Will was coming from in the degree that, you know, I think Will has a lot of insecurities, probably also lives with a lot of guilt about, I don't want to get too deep into this because it's kind of heavy stuff. Well, this is supposed to be a lighthearted channel, so I don't want to go too heavy into like domestic abuse, but I think I remember reading like he, grew up with, his father was very kind of abusive and would like, hit his like mom and stuff. And I guess as a kid he felt kind of powerless to be able to stop that. So I think, his wife has kind of probably fueled that complex of making him feel like he's not doing enough as a man to defend the women in his life, and it all goes back to that trauma with his mom, and then the issues in his marriage, so I have a lot of empathy for Will Smith, and I got kind of concerned there, just like when he was getting just so much hatred, and like again, Chris Rock, yes, he's the victim at the end of the day, but just the way that people were kind of bullying Will on social media, like it kind of raised a concern in my head of like, well, he's not gonna like off himself after this, is he? Because like sometimes like when you've got this mob mentality of everybody ganging up on you, and people can just be so cruel and relentless. But like at the end of the day, he shouldn't have done what he did. But it was a smack. It wasn't like a closed-fisted punch. And again, I'm not saying it was right. But, people act like he attempted to murder Chris Rock or something. Cyprin, that's an interesting name. I like that, Cyprin. Oh, he's dead.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
I don't like the way you said that,
What I'd
Cyprin.
really like to do is get out of this swamp.
Yeah, I think Spyro said that because he was feeling uncomfortable. Like I was just sprawled out all seductively. Like, you're going to be able to tell all your friends about your adventures, Spyro, with a little wink. Like that guy's that guy might be a little bit of a creep. I think we should stay away. There's some red flags. Anyway, I think we're almost done with this level. This one's relatively short, which actually, now that I think about it, we do have to do some backtracking, so we might still have a decent amount to go. I was thinking maybe there was just 400 gems, but it might actually be closer to 500. But I don't know. I got a lot of empathy for Will Smith. I think he, everybody makes mistakes, and I think there's a lot worse things a person could do. Again, not taking up for what he did, but I mean, he's not a child groomer, right? He's not a. And some people might say, like, well, we shouldn't have the bar set that low, but I mean, sadly, you see a lot of celebrities do some pretty bad stuff, it is a low bar, but everybody's human and people makes mistakes, but some people just do some pretty terrible things, and I don't think what Will did was on that same level as some other people's decisions that I don't even know if they see as a mistake, but it's just they're, a bad person who would do that same sort of thing again, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And he's like banned like 10 years, I think, from the Oscars. So I don't know if I think that the punishment fit the crime on that. There's a lot of things in our society where it's like we can't just let the court of law handle it. It's like everybody has to be all, judgy about it and give their 2 cents. And it's so easy to do now with like the internet and things. But some things are just, we got to just kind of accept that, like, we don't need to get offended on Chris Rock's behalf. Like, Chris Rock, he was obviously hurt and upset by what Will did, but he's the one who chose, like, I'm not going to press charges. So if he can have at least that much compassion toward Will, why can't everybody else? Like, he didn't slap you, so like, why are you taking it so personally? And I don't know if Chris Rock necessarily forgave Will, but he at least had the mercy to be like, yeah, I'm not going to prosecute this. So maybe we need to like quit with the mob mentality and all be ready with our like pitchforks and torches to just, murder Will. And I'll just kind of mellow out a little bit and take a step back and say, hey, maybe I'm getting a little too caught up in trying to fit in with the crowd and trying to ruin somebody's career and their livelihood and their mental health, which is already in a rocky state to begin with, because you're having marital issues and people are making fun of you because she's so open about them and unremorseful, and Will being called a weak man and things like that. Because that stuff that gets into your psyche and it pushes people over the edge and probably contributed to Will doing what he did. and then the criticism just keeps coming, because then it's like, you know, I'll show them, I'll be a man, I'll stand up for my wife, and then he does that in not the best way to go about it, admittedly, and then now people don't have respect for him for opposite reasons. So I don't know. I got a lot of empathy for Will, but I've been talking about that for way too long. I got to quit going off on all these little side tangents where I give my spiel about. I'm just a very big believer in second chances and forgiveness and acknowledging that everybody makes mistakes and not trying to hold people to these impossible standards and cancel them and make it like you can't, you know, like you have to be infallible all the time. Like it used to be that we would teach people that, like, you know, it's okay to have imperfections, that that's what makes you perfect, that you're still, you know, in spite of your flaws, that's what makes you you, that's what makes you human, and you should embrace those, like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus about, you know, making mistakes and whatever else. But nowadays it's like we can't have that anymore. It's like, yeah, you're human and you're gonna make mistakes, but just don't ever let them get out publicly, because if they do, then like you're just not gonna have a career again, you're not gonna work in Hollywood again, you're not gonna, you know, have a platform again, you're gonna get doxxed and bullied and harassed by everybody. But it's kind of like I was talking about in the last one with in a previous episode with Lori Loughlin, I think is how you say her name. I couldn't think of her name before, but who did Aunt Becky on Full House, and how she got arrested and everybody, like, her career in Hollywood is done and stuff. But like, again, I feel like there's significantly worse things that a person could do, and I'm not taking up for it. But I don't know how much of that was her being coaxed and manipulated, her and her husband, by the dean of the school or whatever. And if they even maybe realized that, like, while what he was doing was ethically not okay, that they could be held liable in any way. Like in some ways, I feel like they maybe were kind of victims of that circumstance in a way. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind to nostalgia for there's another lovely crescent moon. Look at the way the light hits Spyro's horns there. I almost said ears. Those aren't his ears. Those are his horns. Spyro doesn't even have ears. How does he hear? I don't see any holes in the side of his head or anything. But that looks so pleasant. Maybe I'm just blinded by nostalgia for these old 90s sitcoms that I grew up with on Warner Brothers. I think they're both Time Warner cable shows, right? Fresh Prince and Full House. But I don't know. I don't think they're terrible, horrible, awful people. I think they're imperfect people who maybe made some wrong decisions, but are still deserving of grace and mercy. Same with, like, I almost said Candace Owens. She's the political person. It's something Owens. What's the name of who played DJ on Full House? I know because of her political beliefs, because she's a lot more kind of conservative Christian and stuff, and people saying, like, you know, trying to cancel her because, like, oh, she wants to have, like, traditional. I'm really going down a rabbit hole here. I don't know if I want to be going into all this stuff, but, like, I don't know. We got to stop demonizing everybody who thinks differently from us, and quit being so self-righteous and judgmental, and, you know, putting everybody else down, and just acknowledge everybody's got their own unique set of beliefs. Everybody thinks differently. Everybody has their own personal struggles. Not everybody is just some horrible, awful, disgusting, despicable human being. And just, you know, I don't know. I so often hear people say, you know, it's really not that hard to be a good person. But I don't, you know, I don't want to go around saying that necessarily, because I feel like so often the people who say that end up being kind of the judgmental type that I'm talking about, not the greatest of people themselves, but Sadiki. It's like Rafiki from The Lion King or something.
Metalhead is all charged up to meet you.
They all have these eyeballs. Is that actually like somebody's eyeball, or is that like a fake eye? Like, what is that? Can you see through that? Is it like a telepathic thing? Like you can look into it? Excuse me. But I don't know. That's it. I'll try to ease off on the. I don't know if I would say what I've said has been political, but it probably it's a more serious issue than I probably need to be talking about on this channel. I have thoughts, and maybe someday I'll do some kind of a podcast or something where I do get kind of political and touch on, like, more serious events. But, like, that's stressful. Like, people, you know, I don't want to be the next victim of that very thing that I'm condemning here, of people just, like, not agreeing with their views, and then they're just, you know, casting stones at you, like, you know, you're getting doxxed and harassed and whatever. But I don't know. It's like you're not allowed to have an opinion anymore, and that just kind of sucks. And I know it's not just me. A lot of people, I think, feel that way with just the current political climate. But I hope we'll start mellowing out after everything that's gone down, like I alluded to in the last episode, where we had that Trump assassination attempt, and that, like, now I feel like you've got a lot of liberals and conservatives at least saying that they want more unity now and not all this division. So I don't know. It'd be so great if we could just chill and just, you know, even if you're not religious, even if you're not a Christian or whatever, I think that is a good principle of just not judging lest you yourself be judged, and just kind of, you know, so I'll just mellow out a little bit and just, like, you know, I'm gonna do me, you do you. I might not agree with everything you do, or maybe you make some mistakes, but I'm going to as well someday. But maybe people will be a little bit more merciful and understanding on me for my personal shortcomings if I'm not berating everybody else for theirs, you know? It's like this, like modern American society's like become this morality contest where we're always just trying to bring each other down to prove how superior we are, and you see it all the time on social media, and that's a big reason why I had to just you know, get rid of I still technically have a Twitter or X or whatever, but I got rid of the app from my home menu, so it's not as easily accessible to me. And same for Facebook, because like I just got tired of seeing all that stuff. Like, it's not good for my mental health, and it just makes me feel guilty and anxious and depressed when you've got all these people saying, like, oh, people who believe such and such are terrible, awful, disgusting human beings. And just, you know, you gotta come together and quit being this way. Like, I don't know, but that's enough. That's what we're here today, though, to do, is to just have fun, just play some games, just chill out, not get super caught up in politics and whatever else, which I guess I'm kind of need to practice what I preach and not be talking about all that stuff on here so much, but just have fun with life. Just be happy again. Look at that lovely Mountain Dew water fountain over there. That one's Mountain Dew and this one's Mellow Yellow. They're gonna merge together and have a Mountain Yellow baby. That would be a cool name, Mountain Yellow. I would drink that. Wouldn't you drink Mountain Yellow? That sounds awesome. Anyway, I don't know which company makes which. If one of them like a you know, owned by Coke, and the other one Pepsi, maybe. I'm really not sure. I'm from Appalachia, so you would think that I would be a Mountain Dew boy. You got these awful hillbilly stereotypes about people talking about, you know, Mountain Dew mouth and all your teeth rotting out, but that's you know, media propaganda. The majority of us are not like that. But anyway, there I go. I'm getting back into political now. I'm talking about propaganda and stereotype. Then this guy, he just falls over and dies once we cut off his power. Again, the bosses in this game are so weak. It's pitiful. I got a skill point. I don't know what for. And by the way, if we do 100% the game, I'm not getting all the skill points necessarily, like the little achievements, because that's just kind of whatever. Who cares about that, really? But it's kind of nice to have, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But I'm not going to lose sleep over getting all the achievements. No, I'm not a really that big of a pop drinker in general. But if I were to drink a pop, I definitely prefer Mellow Yellow over Mountain Dew. I don't drink Mellow Yellow super often, but when I do, it's like, oh yeah, that's some good stuff. But pop it just, you know, with all the sugar in there. It's not even that I'm trying to like watch my weight or anything like that, because I don't really care. I just eat whatever I want to eat for the most part, and at least at this point in my life, I guess my metabolism's good enough that it's not completely destroyed me yet. But it's just with all the sugars and stuff in there, it doesn't quench my thirst. Is kind of the big thing. So it's just not really that worthwhile to drink pop, because it doesn't. If I do drink a pop, usually I have a pop, but then I'll also get a water with me, and I might take a sip of the pop for the flavor, but then follow that with a sip of water for hydration, which is actually what I'm going to do right now. All right, and we've been recording for about 44 minutes here. Probably be best to just go ahead and call it here. Let's zoom in once again. We got to end these just zooming in on the chickens. I wish I could go into first person. There might be a way that I'm just ignorant about. I don't know. Look at that glowing psychedelic mushroom. We could have Quite a trip on those. Mario, eat your heart out. These mushrooms are... Oh boy, we're going to end this episode here while Spyro takes a little trip to the Mushroom Kingdom. And then we will come back for our next episode where we'll finish up this world, do treetops, which might take the whole episode because that one's... Ooh, that's a doozy. I think is that the only one we have left on this world? I think it is. And then we can... Oh, we got the flying one too. I forgot about the flying level. Yeah, that might be all we do on the next episode is just finish up the bog. And then the next episode we'll do the Dreamweaver's world. And we'll be getting ever closer to the end of the game. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Well, Spyro's grooming himself some more like a little kitty cat. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hit the thumbs up if you want to. Press subscribe, or if you want to dislike, you know, that's your God-given American right, unless you're not watching this in America. Wherever you're watching this from, thank you. And I would assume that, you know, if your country at least gives you enough rights to have access to the internet, then, you know, you've probably got the freedom of speech to give a dislike too. So you exercise that right however you want to. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.